Happy Valentine's Day! February bake-along was this giant chocolate cake. Like, are you kidding me? This was perfect for Valentine's Day, obviously. So I was so pumped to make this. And I don't usually get that much practice decorating cakes. I got to practice my icing skills. I got to practice decorating. This was the best bake-along challenge yet. Like, Hollow was good, but this one just like topped it. It was so good. I loved this challenge. It was super fun, and I can't wait for next month.
So I've got all my ingredients laid out. I will list them in my blog post, so you can check that out. I did a little bit of mise en place here, try to get myself organized. That's one of the top tips I have for anyone trying to bake at home. You want to set all your ingredients out. That is called mise en place. It's French for everything in its place. Here I have some coffee brewing. I'm gonna pour that out through a strainer, and this actually intensifies the chocolate flavor in the cake. Now I'm just adding all of the dry ingredients together, the cocoa powder, everything's already measured ahead of time to make everything just go so much more smoothly. And I'm going to sift it all together. I'm leaving the sugar out because, well, it doesn't clump like flour and cocoa powder do. So that's why I'm sifting, is to get the clumps out. And you'll see me kind of rubbing them all together to get them through the sieve. And I've got really dirty fingers here. Now I'm mixing all the liquid ingredients together. So I've got my buttermilk, scraping that out. I'm gonna add my oil and vanilla extract. Here's the coffee. Mix it all together, and then I'm adding it in as the mixer is going to make sure everything is evenly incorporated. This is a trick for really even texture in your cake. It's important because you want it to bake up evenly in the pan so that there's not clumps of anything anywhere. It really gives it a better texture, more smooth texture, and like just overall makes for a better cake eating experience. And if you don't have an electric stand mixer, these principles are really important for you, because when you mix by hand, you want everything to be incorporated evenly. So here I have my eggs. I'm gonna crack them in one by one to make sure they get evenly distributed. Watch as I just destroy this egg. So that's it. Everything is mixed together. I'm putting it into this oiled cake pan. Now, I was supposed to have 3 8-inch pans, but I ended up having a really hard time with this bowl. I give up. Oh my gosh. Anyway, the cake pans, they were not all the same size. This is actually an 8-inch pan. And then I have 2 9-inch pans. Now, it's not that big a deal, but the end cake was a little bit like lopsided. It was just not symmetrical, and it didn't look that clean in the end. Don't worry about Peaches licking stuff on the floor in the background. It's just water. I made sure not to drip any chocolate onto the floor during this whole challenge. I'm super scared that my dogs will eat chocolate. It's a fear of mine. So I put them carefully into the oven, and I think my oven rack was uneven because these cakes ended up, the ones on top ended up lopsided in the pan. I think they were actually at a little bit of an angle, so that also made it more difficult to ice the cake. And now I'm preparing all my strawberries, cutting them in half, cutting the tops off, Some of them had really gross ends on the bottom. I don't usually cut off the very tips of the strawberry, but I wanted to this time. Some of them were really like gnarly. So maybe we can get through this part. This is the most boring part. Okay, beautiful strawberries all cut up. And I have the filling ingredients: cream cheese and butter, vanilla, powdered sugar. Now, it was supposed to be a whipped cream filling, so I messed that up too because I didn't have any heavy cream, and I ended up just doing like a cream cheese buttercream filling. And here I think you'll be able to see like the cake is kind of lopsided. I just stuck a knife in there to test the doneness. If it comes out clean, it's done. And it was at this point where my cakes were ready to cool down. Peep my mismatched oven mitts. They were both gifts. Alright, so back to making the filling. I'm mixing everything together with a hand mixer just because I didn't want to get the stand mixer dirty, because I also had to mix together the icing for the outside. And here I am just adding more butter and sugar because I didn't have that whipped cream, so I needed to kind of bulk up the filling. This is melted chocolate chips. I just melted those in the microwave for 30 seconds at a time, stirring. And you want to make sure to stop when you still have a little bit of solid chocolate in the mix, because then stirring it around will help melt the chocolate evenly, and you don't want to overheat the chocolate because it will burn and it's just not pleasant. So here I am just scooping the filling onto the cake layers one by one and tasting a little bit as we go, because that's the best part about baking. And I'm just kind of evenly distributing all the filling. And I don't know if you can tell, but like, these cakes are severely lopsided. I tried really hard to stack them in a way that would make it even again, but you'll see. It's fine. I'm not upset. So we're just continuing on doing every single layer the same way, going with filling and then designing, like leaving a little design of strawberries around in a circle so that every piece gets the same amount of strawberries. Now, I don't recommend doing what I did here. I sifted all the dry ingredients into the butter before starting to mix. It's definitely not how you do this. I just got really lazy because I'd already been spending a lot of time making this cake. I was like ready to get it done. But definitely mix your butter and cream it, like cream the butter until it's really smooth, and add in like the vanilla and everything before you add in your sugar, because that makes the icing a lot more smooth. My icing had a few more lumps than I would have liked, so definitely pro tip, don't do what I did. And now I'm just going ahead with icing the whole cake. I already did kind of a quote unquote crumb coat with the filling because it was oozing out the sides, and I just, did that. So this was not a smooth cake by any means. I did a really lazy job of icing it, but it's fine, it ended up okay. That was one of the first cakes I've really iced, I don't do this for a living or anything. I feel pretty proud of the end results. I still feel like I did a pretty good job on this. And it was just extra practice, which is always good. And now I'm adding a little bit of decoration because I had extra frosting left over. So I'm making a cute design on top. They do look like poop swirls, but you know what? They're delicious poop swirls. Don't get me wrong. And a little border. You always want a little border on your cake because it makes it look so much nicer and neater than it really is. And putting some strawberries on top, beautiful. So nice presentation, yes. And there it is, guys. This is my finished cake. It's glorious. Even though it's a little bit lopsided, it's still beautiful. I'm proud of myself.
But yeah, I really hope you make this. It's super good, super worth it. If you want to follow along, remember, go to kingarthur.com. Catch me next month because I'm going to be in a chocolate coma for the rest of February. I hope you liked this video. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll catch you in the next big long challenge video.